Well, good morning. I'm Shalynn Paul, president of East New Mexico University here at Roswell, and we are having a conversation today with our oldest and youngest student on uh, campus for this term. And right now, today, we're talking March 11th of 2024, so it's the spring term. And what I'd like to do is have our two students introduce themselves briefly, and then we have some questions. Martha Staab is our Director of Marketing and Public Relations, and she's going to act as our moderator today. So we'll go with Paul Miller first. If you would, sir, just give a bit of an introduction and talk about some of your background and why you're doing classes at our campus.
Okay, thank you. Again, my name is Paul Miller. I was born in Vancouver, Canada, many years ago, like about 76, I guess. And my mother was an American citizen. My father was Canadian, and we discussed the United States quite a lot. And I decided that I would like to join the Air Force, the U.S. Air Force. So when I was about 20 years old, I went to the U.S. and became an American citizen through my mother's citizenship, and joined the Air Force and had a great time. Learned all sorts of information about aircraft maintenance. And I retired after 20 years, seeing a lot of the world. Some places weren't very good, like Vietnam, but I had a good life in the Air Force. I enjoyed aircraft an awful lot, working on them. I got my A&P license in the military, and that's an airframe and power plant license. And then I worked for a few commercial airlines after that, and just had a great time. Went to many different places in the world. And then I got to the point where it's about time for me to stop working and maybe teach a little bit. Not meaning that teachers don't work. But yes, so I went to a place called West Mech in Phoenix, and I started working for them, teaching students like you guys do at ENMU-R. And I enjoyed it, meeting all these young people, 20, 25 years old and younger. And I had a good time teaching there. And then I decided I had to leave that company because my wife was in very poor health. And so that's about it for me. And I started going to ENMU-R online because I had a pamphlet back in about 2000, early 2000s. And I read that. I thought, that might be pretty nice, you know. I wasn't a very good student when I was in high school. I didn't like it, actually. But aircraft maintenance was fantastic. Loved that. Didn't think I should get a higher education because I was doing very well with my life, with my A&P license and working for airlines. But, you know, that's about it. So here I am.
Okay, thank you very much. And Shalynn, do you want to talk a little bit about your background and what brought you to campus?
Not really. I don't really know what to say about it because, I mean, I was just interested all of a sudden. I think it was actually my mother.
Your mother?
I think it was my mom, actually.
Was she the one that kind of just said, hey, you should do this?
Well, it was kind of both of our decisions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure she brought it up first, though. I think I saw a pamphlet about it, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I got started from there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a horrible high school student, though, so.
And you've been taking some classes in computers, is that right, on campus?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Well, very good. So, Martha, I'll turn the questions over to you if you would. Go ahead and start with us.
All right, so I'm going to ask.
Excuse me 1 second, please. I just wanted to say thank you very much, Dr. Powell, for asking me to be part of this. I appreciate it. But as the same with Shalynn, I'm quite nervous here as well. I've never done this before. So okay, that's it.
You both got this.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to actually ask Paul first. Can you tell me about your journey to returning to education in this current stage of your life?
As I was working at Westmeck. I
Mhm.
was teaching students in high school, and they were doing high school as well as the A&P studies. And I thought that was pretty good, fantastic. And they had this, probably the same pamphlet that Shalynn was looking at about the fantastic opportunity that you at ENMU-R had for people that have an A&P license to get their associate's degree. And I was looking at it and thinking, do I really need to do this or not? I'm older. I don't need an education. I'm just about done. Not quite with my life, but I didn't think I needed an advanced education, or more advanced than I already had, high school. Everybody, all the other teachers at Westmeck had advanced degrees, and I felt a little bit down, but that's all right. It's no big deal. And then a lot of the students were going to ENMU-R as well to get their degrees. And I was talking to them and thinking, why shouldn't I do something like that? I am not going after my degree to get another job. I'm too old for that. I just like to hang around the house and go out and drink beer every once in a while and have a good time. But all my children, my grandchildren, they have degrees, and I'm proud of that. Fantastic. So I decided to go to ENMU-R and try it out, and I love it. I was scared to death, though. I was not very good in high school, and I started with ENMU-R, and I really enjoyed it. All the pamphlets that the instructors have given me say, about 7 hours every week you have to do extra in the classes. I don't do anything around the house other than working in the yard and stuff, so I put about 5 hours a day into these classes, and I love it. I love learning new stuff. Math is my hardest right now, but it's still working out.
Great. Shalynn, same question. Tell me about your journey to returning, or now getting into education at this age, and what that has been for you.
Well, like I said, my mother enrolled me in the class.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually pretty fun, especially because I've been great with computers since I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of came naturally. But it's been fun. It's been a good time. Most people are shocked that I passed the class, but my teachers didn't think I could do it, so they were shocked.
Right.
Especially with my age. So yeah.
Okay.
Martha, one thing I might add is I believe Paul Miller's graduating in May. I think that's the schedule, isn't it?
Yes, hopefully.
Yeah. So we're just a couple of months away from that associate's degree for you at this point. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'd like to say something that I have not told anybody about my education. I'm keeping that a secret. And I think the main reason was because I was afraid that I may fail. And I didn't want to do that and have everybody think, oh. So I'll have a good time when I get my parchment.
Then you can tell the whole world what you did.
That's right, I can.
I love it. Okay. So I'm gonna go back to Shalynn. So I know your mother kind of brought you into this, but obviously you had a say in doing it. So what was the motivation behind doing this versus traditional school?
To be honest, it was probably proving my teachers wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That they think I couldn't do it. So I wanted to prove them wrong and prove that I could pass a college level class. So that was the main motivation. But my mom thinking I could do it was also motivation to do it. So
that's another one. You and Paul are proving people wrong. I love it.
I'm very impressed with Shalynn. You're 14 years old.
13.
And you're going to 13. I'm sorry, didn't want to age you any more than you are. Going to college at 13 years old. That's fantastic. No, I just think that's great.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I love it. So, Paul, how do you balance your academic commitments with your other responsibilities and your life experiences?
Well, being 76, and my wife doesn't live with me anymore. She's in a home. So I have a large house, and it's just myself and my dog. And so I don't really have too many things that I have to do. I have friends, I go out with them every once in a while. So I'm thinking that getting my education, I have a lot of time on my hands to work at it. And so after many thoughts about returning to education, I decide, yes, go for it. And I have a lot of time, like I said, so I can spend more time on it, and I enjoy it. So I don't have any conflict of anything.
Perfect.
Pretty easily.
Shalynn, kind of same question. How are you balancing, you're doing both high school and college, and how are you balancing your other commitments at this age as well?
Well, really, all the commitments I have are high school, and it was college. But I don't have school on Mondays since I'm homeschooled. So most of the time I would come to class Mondays and then get most of my work done that I had to do for that week on that day in the library. And if I didn't, then I would have to do it on Saturday and then Sunday. Sometimes I would have to ask for an extension on that, but
yeah. All right. Back to Paul. What challenges have you encountered as an older student, and how have you overcome them?
Challenges. The biggest challenge I think I have is the fear of failing. That's been with me a long time. I think that made it really hard for me to decide to go back to college or to start a college course. But you work hard and it's fine. I don't seem to have any challenges really with my life. I'm not that active anymore. I used to be, but as age creeps up on you, you kind of slow down a little bit. And I'm not having any real challenges. I go to Utah to see my daughter, and my other daughter here is close by. So my life is pretty good. No challenges.
And Martha, if I could just jump in there just a little bit. So we're talking to an Air Force veteran, Vietnam veteran,
Yes,
who has A&P, has worked major airlines around the world, and the thought of coming back to college was a thing that was causing you some fear or some hesitation.
yes, a little bit. But, it's all personal for me. I'm not getting an education to get another job or to impress anybody. The only person I'm impressing is myself. And I love it. I think that's great.
I think you're impressing at least 3 other people that are with you
Well,
right
thank
now.
you. Thank you very much.
All right, Shalynn, back to you. So you said that you're homeschooled and you're also doing this. So what challenges have you faced going from those two different environments?
Probably the same, the fear of failing. I'm a straight A student, so getting probably anything lower than a B would have very much scared me. I passed with a B+, so
that's great.
Yeah. Probably just the fear of failing and making my mother disappointed most of the time.
Okay. I think we can all relate. All right. So back to Paul. In what ways do you believe that your life experiences outside of academia contribute to the way you learn and your perspective in the classroom?
First of all, there's no classroom for me. I'm an online student, so I'm sorry I can't say anything there. As my experiences as growing up, I worked hard. I saw the world, a lot of the world anyway, so my experiences there were valuable to me. I try to treat everybody the way I would like them to treat me, kind of like the golden rule, I guess. I think I'm straying from your question, aren't I?
That's fine. Yeah, I know there's live discussion boards and things like that, and I know that you have to interact with other people. Has there ever been anything that's been, maybe difficult in doing that, and maybe interacting with other people's opinions that may have differed from yours in those situations?
I'm not sure. I'm fairly easy to get along with, and I have opinions myself, and sometimes I bring them up to other people, and maybe it doesn't go over very well with them, but I seem to get along with everybody. I interact well with each other, and I kind of wish that I was in a classroom environment so I could learn more things about the other people. But that won't happen. So I'm just going along with the way I am now with this online class, and I do really like it. And I like the teachers that have been instructing me.
Great.
Very good.
Shalynn, same with you. Since you come from a homeschool background and now you're coming into the classroom, how is that different, and how are you adjusting to being around people and having that come in and also being the youngest in the class?
Well, my homeschool, we go to a classroom, but it's just one big classroom with all the grades. So I am around people, but it's more controlled than public school is, I'm gonna say. But going into a classroom here, it was different, definitely. I made some new friends, so that's a plus. When I told people my age, they were shocked with being the youngest. They were shocked that I even got into class. So, but it was a fun experience going back to a classroom, because I was in public school for about 2 years, and then I went to homeschool. So,
great. All right, Paul, what advice would you give other adults who are considering returning to education later in life?
I think it's fantastic, and I think education, any kind of education after high school is fantastic. If you want to go into the arts, science, university classes, great. If you want to become a mechanic, a carpenter, or something like that, that's perfect as well. As long as you go to a different, increase your education level in some way. As I did, I love it. I've been with aircraft maintenance for 50 years. I got the Charles Taylor Award, which is, he's the mechanic that built the Wright brothers plane or motor engine. So I got that. That's for 50 years. And I think education is fantastic, and you are never too old to learn. 76, and I'm still learning.
Great. Shalynn, same thing. What advice would you give younger students who are contemplating coming into this environment at maybe your age or younger? What advice would you give?
I mean, I'd say it was fun, and that if they think that they could do it, do it. I didn't think that I could do it, but I still did it, and I passed. So I feel like I'd encourage them to do it, though, because it's fun. It's a new learning experience for them. So.
Okay. All right. Paul, different question here, but how do you find the classroom environment as an older student, but do you feel like you're treated differently by your professors or your classmates in those discussion boards or any other interactions you have with them?
Well, that's kind of hard to answer because I'm an online student. I don't get to go into the classroom. Sometimes I feel that would be beneficial to me to be able to talk to the instructors when I have a problem instead of having to look it up online. But all the instructors are pretty good. If I send them an email, they get back with me very fast. But I think it would be better to be in the classroom environment. I think it would be nice to meet all sorts of other people. Yeah, I always like meeting other people. And I might even be able to help the younger ones in school as well with my experience in the rest of the world. Maybe, I don't know.
Shalynn, same thing. Since you're the youngest student in the class, do you feel like you're treated differently by your peers and your teachers?
Not at all, actually. I feel like my teacher, he treated everybody the same. And if you would ask him, he would, like for an extension, let's say, he would contemplate it and he would decide on whether or not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he treated all of us the same, even if we were 32, 13,
Mm-hmm.
any age. So
Fantastic. Well, what are your thoughts between your younger and older students in your class? I know it's online, but again, you still have those discussions and things like that. Do you ever feel that there's certain differences, Paul?
No, I don't think so. We're all here to learn, and we have to write reports and everything. And I've read some of the reports that the other students have written, and they're very good. And I don't see myself as better than them or them better than me. We're all just learning, and I think that's great. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that.
Okay. All right, Shalynn, have you found any particular courses or subjects that are more challenging as a younger student?
probably the math course.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, I'm not into a very high level of algebra yet, but
Mm-hmm.
probably the math
Math.
course. Yeah. I'm good at math, I just don't like it, so that could be why. English may be harder, I'm not sure. I'll find out this summer, I guess, so.
Yeah. Well, Paul, since you're close to graduation, have there been any subjects that have been particularly difficult for you at your age?
All of them, actually. But I get through it by studying a lot more, going over the questions more, and rereading the chapters. And it tends to be a little bit easier for me, except the same with Shalynn, math. That
Math.
kicks my butt all the time. But I'm learning, and if I go into an equation and I'm not sure about it, I look online or I look through the book more, and I learn that way with repetition. And I'm getting through, and yes, I think I will graduate in May. And I'm happy, very happy.
Congratulations, that's really exciting.
Yes, thank you.
Shalynn, how did you find the transition from where you were, which I think was homeschool, into this university setting? Were there any significant differences that kind of just jarred you from doing this? Did it make you like second guess what you were doing?
Not really. I thought it was fun transitioning.
Yeah.
Because it's a better environment. It has more people. They're nice. Most of the people I've met. So, not really, no.
All right, Paul, have you faced any stereotypes or assumptions because of your age? And if so, how do you respond to them? Now, granted, I think your teacher has access to the files of who they have in their class. Has there been any stereotyping in that matter?
No, I haven't heard of anything, experienced anything like that. In my life, yes, many years ago, there's been a few times, but all the time that I've been at ENMU-R, I've had no problems with that, not at all. So I'm very happy with the classes, the school, and I would like to come out there sometime, but I'm not sure if that'll happen. I see your school online, and it looks very nice. So
Fantastic.
one day I might, but I have had no problems at all with your school.
Fantastic. Now, Shalynn, you're actually here in person on campus, and they know you're the youngest. Have there been any stereotyping due to your age?
Not here. Like I said, my teachers said I couldn't. But not from here. Everybody that knows my age has either kept it to themselves or believed in me. So, yeah.
great. All right, Paul, I know you've kind of touched on this here and there, but how do you approach the academic and personal goals at this age in your life?
I don't know. It was my personal choice to go back to school, and I'm enjoying it, and I think everybody should in some way. I'm not going to use my newfound education for anything. It's just all personal. I don't need to get another job anywhere. I don't want to work. I'm retired. And I'm just having a great time learning.
Do you think you'll go for your bachelor's degree after this?
It was so hard for me to decide to go for my associate's degree. So being honest with you, no. But that may change 4 or 5 years down the road.
Paul, I feel like it's going to change.
Yeah, maybe it will. Maybe it will.
All right, same question, Shalynn. How do you approach these academic and personal goals you have at this time? And what is your goal at the end of the day? If you want to say it, if you want to put it out in the universe.
Well, my goal is to become a cybersecurity or be hired at a cybersecurity firm or create my own.
Ooh,
never know.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't know really what to say about that really.
Okay. Do you like plot it down on a piece of paper and say this is where I'm going and kind of just figure it from there, or this has already been embedded in your head?
It's been
It's
embedded
there
in my head.
All
Yeah.
right, good. All right. Well, I have another one for you, Shalynn. How do you think your age influences your interactions with your professors and classmates?
Don't know how to answer that either. 'Cause,
Came in with a tough question today.
I mean, yeah, I really don't know how to answer that.
All right. All right. And then, Paul, how do you see your education impacting your future goals or aspirations? I think you're going to get a bachelor's degree, but that's just me.
Well, thank you. Maybe I will. I'm not sure.
Put money on it.
Well, thank you. I don't see any change in my life when I get my associate's degree, other than being so proud and running around telling my kids, "Hey, I did it," when they don't know I was going to school.
No, wait a minute. They don't know yet? I'm sorry to
No.
interrupt you.
That's
Wow.
fine. No, I didn't want to tell anybody. Again, for fear that I may fail.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that's the strongest part of me not telling them.
Okay.
But boy, as soon as I get that paper, I'm running all over the place. Yep. And I'm going to fly up to Utah and tell actually, I was thinking of just sending a piece of paper, or not a piece of paper, a picture of my degree and a couple of other things that I have, and just sending it to them and not saying anything and see if they can figure it out. I don't know.
Or just a whole party set up at your house and you're celebrating and you'll be like, hey, I got it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm very happy that I've done this.
If you do that, send us the picture, because I really want to be posting that all over our channels, because that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd
Something
great.
I'd like to say first is, Shalynn, I think you are fantastic to be going to college at such an early age. When I was 13, 14, school was way, way, way away from me. Baseball, girls, maybe girls, I don't know. So I'm impressed. I really am.
Thank you.
You're
So,
very welcome.
So yes, I wish I had done this. I didn't know about this, or I didn't think it was available to me at the time, because yes, I would have been able to finish early and head out to the world fast enough. But do you think how do you see your education impacting your future goals and your aspirations?
Well, I mean,
You're going to get out there faster?
yeah, I've always told my mom I don't want to go to school for 12 years, so it'll get me out there faster.
That's true.
Especially if I go to the early college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And let me follow up on that. So Shalynn mentioned, and Paul, just you probably know about this, or you may know about this, but what Shalynn is talking about with our early college high school program, it's in conjunction with the Roswell Independent School District. And so the students enter in ninth grade, and then they take a progressive number of college classes. But what happens is, when they get into the junior and senior year, they're taking all college courses that count for what we call dual credit. So they meet both high school graduation requirements and the associate degree requirements. And so from this last May, and I'm talking in May of 23, two of the graduating class students from early college high school finished the aviation maintenance program, and they were 18. So
Wow.
it's a real interesting program we have on campus. I'm very excited about it. Many of the students go on to four-year institutions. I think either the valedictorian or salutatorian went on to Cornell. We have folks at New Mexico Tech studying engineering, and it's just a really great program. And Shalynn, I think you ought to really take a look at that as you look at further options for yourself. And the interesting part about it, just from a timing perspective, you actually graduate from college before you graduate from high school, because the graduation ceremony is earlier in May. So
Wow.
kind of interesting.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Paul, do you have any last thoughts or words that you want to add to this that maybe you haven't touched on?
The only thing I would like to say is thank you very much to ENMU-R for the opportunity to get my associate's degree. I'm glad I read that article back in 2003 or 4 or something like that. It stayed in my mind, and since I'm in the aviation industry, getting a degree, a lower degree in it is fantastic for me. Thank you very much, Dr. Powell.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you, sir. I appreciate you taking the time to be with us today.
My pleasure.
All right, Shalynn, same question. Any other thoughts or words that maybe we just haven't touched on right now?
Same answer.
Same
Thank
answer.
you for the opportunity.
Well, Shalynn, thank you very much for agreeing to talk with us today. I know you're looking at different options in cybersecurity, and that's a great field to go into. And I just want to wish you the best as you pursue those future dreams. Martha, thank you for moderating our discussion today. I appreciate that. And again, Paul and Shalynn, thank you very much. Thank you for choosing East New Mexico University at Roswell for your educational pursuits. And again, I hope to be able to get that transcript sent off, hopefully early in the summer to you after this May comes around and our spring term is done. And Shalynn will be looking for you hopefully in early college high school.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
sir.
Thank you.
Martha.
Paul, I want that picture of your party.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you both.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a great
Bye-bye.
day. Bye.
She's going to make her way to the students. In the fall semester of year, our college served students from the ages of 13 to 77. The video you're about to see is an additional graduate who is unable to join us today, but he is here through a video. He's a retired Vietnam-era Air Force combat veteran. During his military career, he completed the requirements to be licensed as an airframe and power plant aviation maintenance technician. He worked on military, commercial, and general aviation aircraft for over 50 years. Paul learned about our aviation maintenance program from a brochure he picked up in 2002. If you would focus on the screens, we have a video from Paul Miller.
This is such an honor for me to be standing here in front of you. My name is Paul Miller, and as you can see, I'm a graduating student as well. One very honest difference, though, is that I'm many times older than most people in this room. We have finally passed all these grueling, rigorous academic courses to finally become graduates. Hopefully, I won't make the speech very long and boring, but it was